when you start in No Man's Sky? What is your role within this universe?
It's an interesting game because actually we'll show like 3 minutes of gameplay like we did at E3. For most games that's enough. You show a racing game for 3 minutes, you've seen everything you need to see, right? But for us, it's like just the start. And actually a lot is possible in the game. And we don't want to prescribe what people do, right? So we're not going to say this is a game about discovering creatures, or we're not going to say this is a game about killing dinosaurs, or we're not going to say this is a game about flying a ship, or you know, becoming a fighter and a pirate or a bounty hunter or whatever. But loads of those things are possible. Not everything is possible, and when we ship the game, not everything will be possible, but this is a game I think we're going to be making for quite a while, you know, even after it comes out.
Is it fair to say that right now you guys haven't decided exactly what those things are as well?
No, actually, we have a really good idea of what it is.
And today we're about to tell you. Welcome back to the next big game, No Man's Sky. On today's show, we're going to detail what we learned about the gameplay in Hello Games' vast universe and unveil new details about how the game might evolve over time. Is there a story? Are there quests? Can I play with others? All questions you've been asking, but all variations on one really simple question. What exactly do you do in No Man's Sky?
When the game releases, every player who picks up a pad and plays is going to help us discover a little bit more. And I can't wait. You start at the outside edge of the galaxy. For a lot of people, the simplest way to describe the game, they will be trying to make a journey to the center of the galaxy. Not everyone has to do that. There's loads of other ways to play it, but that's something that people will probably do. You're gonna have to upgrade your ship, your weapons, your suit. You might gather resources, you might take out other ships. You know, it's kind of there. You can imagine what kind of gameplay you're gonna have.
No Man's Sky is a game about space exploration. Every player connects to the game begins on a planet, alone, spread across a singular galaxy in a wider universe. Your goal? To use your resources to get to the center of that galaxy. The game doesn't end there, but something tells us you're going to be trying to achieve that goal for quite a while. So how do you do it? You start on a planet without a ship. Well, the progression in No Man's Sky is dictated by resources. You can mine for minerals on a planet's surface. Maybe you sell those minerals at a space station to buy yourself a ship. You might be millions of light years away from the nearest other human player, but there's plenty of AI in the universe of No Man's Sky. Trade vessels, colonies, space stations, many of whom would probably love to trade with you. Many others who probably want you dead.
So you have things like the drones that we showed. You also have a weapon, and we've shown some of that. And what we want to get away from so desperately is, I play so many sci-fi games, and the weapon is still an assault rifle or a pistol or whatever. It just blows my mind. It's like, and so the type of sci-fi that we're trying to do needs to feel futuristic and things like that. So what you have is kind of like an upgradable, this sounds really boring, but like a multi-tool. That's why people make assault rifles and battle rifles, because they sound cool. We'll call it like a battle tool or something, right? But you can upgrade it in various different ways depending on how you want to play. Say you're mining, or you're more about attacking or being an aggressor or whatever, or scanning, exploring, whatever. You can upgrade it in different ways. You know, we want that to feel futuristic and kind of reasonably powerful, and kind of defines almost like your character in some ways, in that like RPG way, if you want to get into that. And then your suit as well, you upgrade. So you'll upgrade that to have more armor perhaps, or health, or survive longer underwater or in a toxic environment or whatever. So there are, you know, things like that that I guess a core gamer is used to. There's space combat. It's seamless. That can end up being combat over the surface of the terrain. And that can also end up being combat on the terrain. A reasonable number of planets will have a pretty diverse ecology, and on some of those you have things that, you know, are dangerous to you.
No Man's Sky is a game without traditional questing. If you want to travel further, you have to find the means to upgrade your ship. How you do so, that's where the freedom lies. The game isn't missions or levels or rank, the game is the journey. But it's not all emergent gameplay. There are definable ways that the game will record your progress too.
You know, I said there's various different ways to play the game. We will track those various different ways. And within each of those, you can have an idea of status, which you can take as a rank, right? So you could say, I am the number one kind of space pirate or bounty hunter or whatever, or botanist or explorer or what have you. But it does mean that you can play for as long as you want, and you can play in various different ways for as long as you want. You can follow that trail for as long as you want.
Are you a miner, a peaceful trader, a pirate, or a bounty hunter? What other professions and activities exist beyond those? Hello Games aren't really willing to give us an answer just yet, but you can use your imagination. Maybe you could just travel around taking photographs of the creatures you discover, or perhaps try and upgrade your suit so you can reach the deepest ever ocean. Or maybe you just want to spend your time attacking the main antagonist of the game. Sean confirmed that there is a malevolent force in the universe, but what that is, they're not willing to say.
We kind of have something that we haven't talked about, which is like an antagonist in the universe, kind of a malevolent force, something that drives a lot of combat on the ground.
Another question that keeps on coming up is there multiplayer? I mean, No Man's Sky is a game that takes all its players and throws them onto opposite sides of a vast to scale galaxy. Can you ever meet those players, and can you play with them?
This is not a game about forming a clan or allegiances or whatever, right? But it has some MMO-esque mechanics, I guess. In terms of meeting other people, place is so vast. That's what you can't get across to people. You know, they're like, it starts off all unexplored, the entire kind of universe, and then as each person visits a place, they'll upload that information or visit a planet or whatever. Everyone always asks me, like, after a week, won't everything be kind of discovered? If you took one of our planets, like some of our planets are planet-sized, you know, and you drop 1 million people onto a planet the size of Earth, right? We're still going to be really far apart. So probably even one of our planets won't ever get fully discovered.
In the trailer as well, you can see, I guess, what you call wingmen, other people with you. Can you talk about what that is? Are they AI that are along?
So in the trailer, they were AI. You can cross paths with other players, but it's just not a core component of the game. You're not going out seeking them out or whatever, but it's lovely to play and just see a little touch of, yeah, I'm playing with other people. You and your friends, you know, we're doing the worst possible thing probably. We're going to fling you out, you know, really far apart. There is this thing which I'm not going to talk about now, that is a plan for multiplayer and for people to have a more traditional multiplayer experience within the game. And that's something that we'll deal with further down the line. That is exciting, but that is not what's core to the game right now.
I'm sure many of you are salivating at the idea of an expanded multiplayer mode, but it's clear Hello Games aren't trying to make a deathmatch game or an MMO, at least not at launch. You'll be able to meet other players, but just how involved those counters will be is still unknown. It seems Hello Games are trying to craft an experience that's at its most powerful played alone.
You start in a galaxy, and then you're trying to get to the center of that galaxy, and then when you do, something happens that is worthwhile seeking out, but the game doesn't end there, basically. Okay. And you can continue to play the game forever. But there's a big part of us that does not want to like talk and say, this is what you must do. You know, we're going to pour a lot into this game, and we're already pouring a lot into it. I would like the opportunity to see it fully realized, right? And I would like to have a level of success that makes that possible. If everyone hates it and it stinks the place up, then we probably won't keep working on it, right? We'll do that day zero patch and run away.
When I think about what it must be like to play No Man's Sky, if you'll allow me to be reductive, I think about exploring in Skyrim, or a less rigid version of FTL. Your core goal is clear, but how you prepare for it, and how you allow yourself to get distracted along the way, mean your experience is unique to you alone. But not like other games, there's something else at play here. The scale of the universe. In Skyrim, when you saw Solitude for the first time, when you spotted your first dragon, or explored a deep cave, you were struck by its beauty. But you also knew that millions of other players around the world probably were too. Imagine if you were the first person to see it, perhaps the only person to ever see it. Tomorrow on The Next Big Game, we tackle what the epic scale of No Man's Sky could mean for gameplay, and we premiere the development tools that built
an entire universe.